locked. Doors unlocked.
Hey, Corey.
Hi.
Hi.
It's such an honor to meet you folks. I'm a big, giant Scream fan, and I love this movie and your performances so much.
Thank you.
So thank you for chatting with me today. I was also delighted to see some surprise returns. We're not going to mention what they were, but if there was any other alums or survivors or anybody else that you could have magically poofed into this reunion movie, what would it? Who would you like to have included if you could have?
Well, Dewey's sister, of course.
Bring his sister back.
Leave the shit.
I think people. There's always been talk about Stu, and then also Randy. No one wants to let Randy go, and now he has a niece and nephew in this film. I think because we always have to see some form of Randy in the film, so that's lovely.
But the metaverse is there as well.
You just never know
We're just
who's gonna pop in.
There's a whole new world we're all about to go through with Facebook. So
We're gonna go through a wormhole.
I could see Randy
and we're all
coming back
alive.
very easily.
Yeah. I love that. The happy ending we all deserve. I was just wondering what your reaction was when you found out how intimately your characters were going to be connected to the original and being part of, Randy's family. How did you feel upon learning that?
We'll show you. It's something like this. And if this is a written interview, we put both thumbs up and had a very large smile on our faces and truly just wanted to do right by Jamie and make sure he knew that we respect him and the amazing performance he turned out and wanted to bring it into our own performance.
Hope that he's proud.
Hopefully. Have you asked? I haven't.
No.
I would like to know if he is.
Get him on the phone.
Done proud. Yeah, can we get Jay? Can we
Get
Jamie?
him, please.
Melissa, it was such a joy following Sam's journey in this movie and seeing you, lead this cast. What was your collaboration like with, the legacy actors, and how did it inform what was going on for you on set?
Most of the time I was terrified and I just didn't want to fuck it up, and they didn't even know it at the time when Neve and Courtney came along. I mean, this is such a female-centered franchise. It's all about like powerful women and like the final girls, and it's them, they are the faces of Scream. And so I've admired them and followed them and their careers for so long, and being able to like be in scenes opposite them was such an out-of-body experience for me. It was such a dream come true. And just seeing them be so generous and so welcoming to all of us, so nurturing and kind, and welcome us to the family, to the Scream family. It was beautiful, and I learned so much from their discipline, the way that they approached the scenes, the way that they just slipped right back into these characters that they've played for 25 years. It was a life lesson. It was a master class in acting in the industry, and of just like being a genuinely beautiful human being. And I feel like that's why they both are so successful and people love working with them. I think they taught us a lot.
Yeah.
I love that.
You want me to help you and the host of a morning show commit murder, correct?
Yeah.
Jenna, to pivot over to you, congratulations. You are, I think at this point, a bona fide Scream queen between you and the babysitter and this. How did it feel to be stepping into the opening sequence? It's always so iconic. Obviously, like Drew Barrymore's scene changed the genre forever. What was it like knowing you were stepping into that iconic sequence?
Nerve-wracking. I felt the pressure for sure, especially when it's been done to absolute perfection before you. And I don't know, I just wanted to make a lot of people proud. And I went in there and I gave it my all. I watched, the first Scream multiple times over and over to get a good sense of what it was. And then I kind of had to take a step back and do it for myself and pay homage to Drew and Wes and Kevin and pay my respects, but then also give an audience something new and different. And that was really exciting for me. I like anytime that I've never done something like that before. So it was cool to kind of force myself and into that position. And scenes like that also are just the most fun, and it just felt like a major honor.
I am a Judy Hicks stan. I love her so much. I was beyond thrilled to learn that she was coming back. I was wondering if there was a way for you as an actor, how you found her again. Is it a physical thing? Is it the way she speaks? What were the ways that you found this character a second time?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think, you know, once you create a character, at least in my experience, it's sort of it's on your hard drive in your body, and you can access it, you can find it again. You might have to kind of, you know, do some recalling, but it's in there. I think the difference with Judy this round is that a lot's happened to Judy off screen. Like when we meet her again in this installment, she's now the sheriff, right? She's been promoted from deputy to sheriff, so she's the boss lady, and she has a 16-year-old son. So those are some major developments. So it was more, how would Judy incorporate that into her Judy world, but still stay, you know, intrinsic to Judy.
I was wondering what it was like to do these scenes with these big legacy characters. How did it feel to be, you know, facing off either verbally or physically with, you know, these larger than life beloved figures from the franchise?
Yeah, like people ask us, like, what advice do they give you? And I think the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway and lesson, I feel like for me that I learned, was just to be in their presence, you know, on set and kind of see them work. I think that felt like, wow, that's like a gift, and I felt really honored and lucky to have that. And also they were just really cool off screen as well, and made us feel super included, and we're fun, and we like all got to hang out a bunch. So I had such a lovely time with them, and I was for sure low-key fangirling and like pretending like I was like super cool and collected, but internally I was like freaking out a little bit.
I think just seeing like how they threw themselves back into the characters with, you know, like all of their energy and like all of their heart is just a really incredible thing to see, and watch people who are really passionate about their jobs. It reinvigorates me as an actor, so I think that was probably the best thing that I took away from it.
It's happening. 3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sidney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
As a hardcore fan, I was so delighted to see Sidney settled and happy and with support. And as a mother, I was wondering, A, if there were at any point were we going to see Sid's family in this movie, and B, just how her being a mother affected your process this time around.
No, I don't think there was any intention of seeing the family. I think that might have been difficult for audiences to see because they're babies. But I think just bringing the mother stage into this is great, because it adds like another ferocity and another intention, another reason for her to really, really fight to protect her family.
The Scream franchise is known for its twists, and it's therefore known for its security. Can you talk about what it was like filming? I heard there were some fake pages going around. What was happening with the security on this movie?
It was tight. Security was tight. I think, I think we were all convinced that we knew what was going on, and then I think at a certain point, I started hearing rumblings of fake versions of scripts, and I didn't believe it at first. I thought it was just like people being sarcastic, but then I realized it was true, and then you start to question yourself and everyone around you, and you're like, wait, what? And you start to not trust each other. It sort of blends the themes of the movie into real life with the actors a little bit. But yeah, it's true. That is a real thing.
We were all given, you know, different versions of the ending in the scripts that we were given, and the producers went as far, with me at least, and I don't know to this day if this was a ruse or what, but they tried to backpedal and get the script back. They said, "Oh my God, we gave you the wrong version." They were asking me. They were like, "Wait, did we give you?" Because they were all numbered and watermarked, and they asked what draft I had, what version, and I told them. They're like, "Oh, okay, we gave you the right one." So I really don't know if this was all part of it, the fake out, but it was good. Yeah. It was good.
That's
they
pretty
committed.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it was incredibly secretive. They didn't even let us out of our rooms, and if we did, we had to put on these burlap sacks over our heads.
There were no windows.
It was very secretive. So you said decoy scripts and decoy endings. We would get to set and try and pry out some answers from the directors and the people who know, and they would
We're
actually...
gonna put you back in your room if you don't knock it off.
That's right. And I was constantly put in my cage, and on the bright side, it was very spacious. That being said, what I think threw me off the most is we would ask about certain plot points, and they would tell me I was right, and then it would just not be
Said yes all the time.
the case. And I was like, oh, that's cute, that's fair. Take the good with the bad.
Yep.
Yeah, what's so interesting about being on a big project like this, you know, that is so secretive, is that even like within the cast, they kept us guessing that, like, for a lot of the time, because they gave us all different scripts with different parts and different endings, and we didn't, like, none of us really knew. It was always like a guessing game until it was like time to film. And that was fun because it like kept like I don't know, it made us feel like we're part of the audience and like living the story as well a little bit, which was a fun little thing they did for us.
You ready for this?
David, you've spoken about kind of the emotionality that came with being on set, and obviously mourning and thinking about the great Wes Craven. I was wondering, now that you've seen the finished cut, how it was like kind of seeing all those homages and those nods to him, and then of course, obviously the movie being dedicated in his honor.
Yeah, definitely. We just all hoped that Wes would be proud of it. We all wanted to do, honor his what he had started and created this amazing franchise. So I hope he would be proud of it.
Marley, this movie is dedicated to Wes Craven. There are a lot of homages and nods to his work, including obviously Dylan's character's name. How did it feel as someone who worked with him to see kind of all of these homages and the ways the movie honors him?
It seemed very fitting, and I was so taken with the effort that has gone into paying homage to Wes and doing right by him with this offering. Our directors really went to great lengths to make a movie that they, in the hopes that he would be proud, and I think that means specifically just maintaining that tone that Wes invented really with the first Scream, which is being utterly terrifying and hysterically funny and self-referencing and smart all at the same time, all in one package. And I think, in my humble opinion, that this movie continues to do that, and I think Wes would be proud.
Jack, between this movie and obviously your role in The Boys, you've dealt with a lot of blood and guts and gnarly things on set. Was your experience on that show, did it inform your process at all? Were you more comfortable with cornstarch all over your body? What was it like?
I'm very comfortable with cornstarch. I want that to be the headline here. Yes, no, I don't know. I don't know why that's become my thing, but I guess I'm gonna have to embrace it. I have to embrace just being generally sticky for the rest of my life if this trend holds. Part of me kind of loves it that I'm in things that certain people have to like look away from because it's too disturbing for them. Like there's something kind of cool about that I don't know. I kind of hope the trend continues for sure.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Lots of blood in your future, hopefully.
More unspeakable violence and gore. Thank you, yes.
Jasmin, it has been such a joy to be able to watch you in both this and Yellowjackets, playing these really authentic Black queer women. What was that? How has it been for you, especially with them kind of ended up releasing it around the same time?
Isn't that wild? I have no control over that. It's just felt like lovely timing. Mm-hmm. The experience of playing both Mindy and Taissa has been very affirming in different ways. It's really nice to get to bring multiple pieces of my identity, some of the most important pieces of my identity, to my work. I always learn something new about myself. And yeah, I'm just delighted with the timing. I also have a pretty gay podcast that comes out on Monday, the 10th. It's
What's that called?
The Gay
No,
Agenda.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I saw that on Twitter. I was very excited. Yeah. I'll definitely be tuning in.
Please do. Let me know what you think.
I will also be listening to The Gay Agenda.
Yeah, as you should. You'll learn some things.
Mikey, you, between this and your role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you've grappled with some dark dark stuff on screen. I was wondering if that's a challenge at all, if you have a process to kind of let go once you leave set. What is that like for you?
I think the roles that I'm drawn to and just the characters that I seem to be, or the movies I seem to be getting cast in, I gravitate towards drama, I guess. Yeah, I think it's like when you immerse yourself in that environment, it can be hard to let it go. And I think part of me like wants to keep some of it with me because I love the experience so much. Yeah.
Nev, if I can pivot back to you before I let you head out. Both Scream and The Craft are these movies that have had this giant legacy. They mean a lot to me. I rewatch them every year. How has it been like to just see the way that these two projects have continued to live on, years after their release?
Crazy. I mean, it's crazy to be in one of these, but to be in, both, Skeet as well as in both, which is crazy. But no, it's always nice to make a film that people love enough that they want to keep watching it, and it's been so interesting to sort of see these anniversaries go by of both the films and see the films celebrated and talked about. Yeah, it's lovely.
The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here.